Most college football seasons don't start in September. They start in spring ball, when coaches quietly learn what's real about their team. Every February and March, college football tells the same story. Spring ball has started. Quarterbacks are competing. New systems are being installed. Depth charts are taking shape. That's the public version. The private version looks very different. Spring ball isn't really about football. It's about positioning. Coaches positioning authority. Players positioning futures. Agents positioning leverage. And athletic departments quietly managing expectations before anyone keeps score. By the time the first game kicks off in September, most of the important decisions have already been made. Spring is where those decisions begin. When a new coach arrives, the first challenge isn't scheme, it's control. You inherit players you didn't recruit. Every new coach says the roster evaluation starts fresh in spring. It does, right up until about the third practice. Assistants and staff still loyal to the previous regime. Boosters expecting instant change. So spring ball becomes theater. Practices look competitive. Messaging stays positive. But privately, staffs are identifying who fits the future and who doesn't. Sometimes the signal is unmistakable. When Georgia Tech moved on from Paul Johnson's flexbone offense, the new staff didn't ease into change. Jeff Collins opened the spring game with 5 wide receivers and a deep throw on the first play. That wasn't about play calling. It was a message to the roster, the boosters, and the future. The old system was over. And whether the rebuild ultimately works or not almost misses the point. Spring ball is often where new authority announces itself without ever holding a press conference. Inside coaching circles, there's an old way of describing spring. The job isn't really installing plays. The job is getting the right players on the bus and helping the wrong players understand they may need a different ride. That sounds harsh, but spring is where clarity replaces optimism. Fans think spring depth charts matter. Players know something else. Spring reps are signals. A veteran rotating with the second group for 2 straight weeks doesn't need a meeting to understand his future. Film sessions get shorter. Design looks stop coming his direction. A younger player suddenly runs with the starters during install periods. Nothing dramatic, just patterns. And players are extremely good at reading patterns. Limited reps mean conversations are already happening behind the scenes. Not threats, not ultimatums, just reality. Because in modern college football, opportunity travels faster than loyalty, and everyone understands the calendar. This is also when NIL conversations accelerate. Not formal negotiations, just check-ins, agents asking questions, collectives gauging interest. Nobody calls it tampering this time of year. They call it staying in touch. These conversations almost never sound like negotiations. A strength coach hears from someone he used to work with. A high school coach checks in casually. An agent calls just to see how a player feels about his role. Nobody is making offers. Everyone is gathering information. Programs are doing the same things quietly, preparing contingencies in case depth charts shift. Because by the time the portal opens, decisions that look sudden to fans have already been quietly prepared. In modern college football, Tampering rarely starts with money. It starts with curiosity. You'll notice certain stories appear every spring. Culture change. Best off-season in years. The quarterback room is wide open. Those aren't accidents. They manage pressure. They buy time. You can often see this in how programs handle media access during spring. Some staffs open practices, allow extended interviews, and encourage coverage. Optimism spreads quickly when people can see progress. Others do the opposite. Limited viewing periods, fewer player interviews, controlled messaging. That isn't personality, it's strategy. Programs confident in early momentum welcome visibility. Programs still reshaping a roster tend to reduce noise while difficult decisions are being made. Access, or the lack of it, becomes part of the expectation management. In spring, what a program allows you to see is often as important as what is still being decided behind closed doors. One of the more interesting examples came during the COVID year. Most programs either stopped spring practice early or never finished at all. Coastal Carolina was different. Jamie Chadwell had long believed in starting spring early, carrying momentum forward and allowing more recovery time afterwards. They were one of the few programs able to complete all 15 practices before everything shut down. The next season, after going 5-7 the year before, Coastal suddenly went 12-0 and won the Sun Belt. Maybe that was coincidence. Or maybe spring preparation creates advantages that aren't visible until the fall. Spring ball doesn't decide championships, but it often decides whether a team is capable of competing for one. Because long before stadiums fill and rankings matter, coaches are standing on practice fields in March learning the truth about their roster. And in college football, truth discovered early becomes advantage later. Spring doesn't look dramatic, but seasons begin there, whether anyone notices or not. Until next time, remember, the most important moves in college football usually happen long before the public ever sees them.